What's up guys, and welcome back to another speculation video talking about possible Diamond and Pearl remakes in the future. Year, 2 years, who knows? And we're looking at some more Mega Evolutions today. So in the last part of this mini-series, sub-series, we looked at Mega Evolutions for Infernape, Torterra, Infernape and Empoleon, because of course if they want to do remakes they're probably going to bring Mega Evolutions into it, because that was a big thing for Oras. So starters would be the prime candidates for that. So then we're going to flow through the Sinnoh decks and pick out most final evolved Pokemon, because really we don't know what could get a Mega Evolution and what couldn't, because some things are crazy and out of left field and some things are pretty obvious. So we'll just jump in, I suppose. The first Pokemon we're looking at comes right after the starters, and that is Staraptor. So these Staraptor designs are awesome. You could do something really cool with Mega Staraptor. Staraptor already looks like a badass, and I particularly like the top right design here. It looks a lot like normal Staraptor, except you've got these red feathers, you've got this red X on its chest, you know, you've got this, scar over its eye, you know, these red plumage all over. You can make a really cool Mega Staraptor. And obviously these other designs are pretty cool as well, some extra, feathers everywhere, an extra plumage with red wings again, basically, and that probably would be a big feature of it. And then the typing for Mega Staraptor is another huge thing as well, because it knows close combat, which is like a really, I guess, not big thing in Generation 4, but it was a thing. If you had a Staraptor, you usually had close combat on it, and it was really cool, but it was almost sort of really weird as well, because it's a bird using close combat, so it gave Staraptor this really brutal, really offensive appearance. So a fighting, flying Mega Staraptor is a real possibility. Normal fighting, probably not. It needs to keep the flying because it's a bird, and fighting is the prime candidate. It could stay normal flying, sure, but it'd be a bit boring. We've got Mega Pidgeot for that. Why not make it fighting flying? It gets a stab, close combat. Just pretty cool overall. What normal type moves does it really benefit from? Nothing. You have flying type move and you have fighting type move in close combat, and there's your main moves, and it will just really make it really cool. I would love to see Mega Staraptor. In terms of this bottom left design, you can see it's not got wings anymore, so I don't like that design as much, but I think it's still a possibility. Its wings could turn more into butch arms, for example, and become this fighting type, but it can still do a fighting flying type without these arms. Hawlucha, yes, it's got arms, but Staraptor, it's got huge claws, huge legs. Those could definitely function like that. Then, let's move on next. We have Bibarel. Yes, okay, I know a lot of you are thinking, why would Bibarel get a Mega? Well, I agree, the likelihood of Bibarel getting a Mega Evolution is probably pretty low, but they could still do it, as I said, because some of the things come out of left field. Got a few designs here, all sort of going around the same thing, just slight alterations to the design. I like the two on the right here. You see the tail has gained spikes, so for example the bottom right one here, this could definitely become a water steel type, or maybe a normal steel type. It depends whether they wanted to keep that water theme going, probably. And the top right one here, maybe a water rock type, I don't know. It looks like wood because of it, it's related to wood, but there's no wood type. So grass would be a possibility, or just keep it normal water and just give it these bonuses to its design. The top left one as well is pretty cool still. That's probably the most normal water-ish one. The other two could have some type changes going on. And in terms of sort of ability or stats, probably, at least with the two on the right, you're looking at it becoming really more offensive, because its huge spikes on its tail basically start ripping into the flesh of its opponents, whereas the one on the left, it could also take a bulky appearance as well. Its tail could turn into some form of shield, so if it was a really thick bulky tail, it could hide behind this tail and get a big defensive boost from that and be a really big physically defensive Pokemon. And it's already got pretty good health points, so you could work on it from there. So there's a few different possibilities for Bibarel, really. Is less likely to get it than some others, for like Staraptor, because generally when they give Mega Evolutions to a Pokemon, they give it to the popular Pokemon, because then if we find out, when we find out, oh my god, Mega Swampert, that's the one, Mega Swampert, oh my god, I love Swampert, I can't wait to be a Mega, get a Mega for it, whereas Bibarel's got a Mega, okay, well, I suppose that's cool, so it wouldn't be as much a pull to the game, to the Mega Evolutions, or obviously there'd be others, but it would be a bit less exciting, but could still be possible. Looking then next at Kricketune. Now, yes, Kricketune is in the same boat as Bibarel. Probably not very likely to get Mega Evolution, and you can see here I only have one design to look at here, because not many people really have a good idea for Mega Kricketune. Kricketune really probably needs a normal evolution rather than a Mega, because it could be branched off into a fully fledged 3-stage line, but If it could get Mega, I don't know what you really do to it. Currently it's just bug type. You could, obviously it's related to sound, so you could give it a lot of sound-based moves in that sense, and sound-based ability. In terms of typing though, I don't know what you do. We have bug. If you maybe made its, I don't know what you call them, arms, maybe if you made them really hard and steel, you could make it bug steel type. We've seen enough of those, so I don't know really what you do to make it different, hence why probably needs a normal evolution that changes it up a bit, a bit more than just a Mega would, and give it full wings for a bug flying type, or some other different design change that could give you a full type revamp almost, rather than a Mega, which can't do as much. So that's Kricketune for you, not as many options, but we'll move swiftly on to the next Pokemon, which is going to be Luxray. Yes, Luxray, like Staraptor, is a Pokemon that is loved, and a Pokemon that people would, for the most part, love to get a Mega. And I know we're all thinking it, the typing for Mega Luxray should definitely be Electric Dark. Definitely, it's a pure Electric currently, Electric Dark definitely would be the way to go here. People would like normal Luxray to be Electric Dark, so why not do it for the Mega? Yes, it would maybe not be an amazing type change, but it would fit it thematically, and the designs would also fit it pretty well. You can see these three designs here. We have the top right one's probably my favourite. It looks a lot like normal Luxray, but with these extra changes, and it doesn't look more menacing, but the dark type is just something it could have gained. The top, the left one, the bottom left one, top left one, whichever you want, is still pretty cool. It's lost a lot of the yellow design on its body and gone more for a blue lightning, but I do like its tail that is sort of like lightning incarnate, but I think it's too big of a change from the normal tail. The bottom right one as well is really cool. I don't know really what's going on with like the razor or the wings on its face, but they look pretty cool. And obviously you have these cables going all over its body and rings of electricity almost, which I think is pretty cool, if maybe extravagated a bit too much in that sense. But Luxray, definitely one I would like to see as a Mega. Dark Electric or Electric Dark would be my type of choice here. In terms of ability or stats, it'd probably be I don't know actually, I think it's a physical attacker normally, so you could boost its special stats to be a special attacker, or you could give it some better physical moves to accompany that. We have Crunch, of course, so the Dark typing would work wonders with that. Of course, in terms of ability, I don't know what you do for it. Maybe a new ability, maybe something that turn normal type moves into ledge type moves, something crazy, normal type moves into dark type moves maybe, and pretty cool in that sense. But we have Crunch, so maybe not, who knows, a few different ideas you could toss around there, but definitely Luxray Mega Evolution would be something I would very much like to see. And the last Pokemon we're going to look at today is Roserade. Now Roserade Mega is, I guess some people really want it, and some people would be like, it's whatever, Roserade's a pretty sort of fleshed out Pokemon right now, you don't really need it, but it could be extended and go in a few different ways. So you can see the designs we have here. We have a couple different themings. You see the bottom right one here, it literally has a fencing lance, whatever they might be called, whereas other ones, the top right one here goes full sort of flowery. So you could either turn Roserade into, it's got a mask on, masquerade, so it could go full into like a fencing or a masked spiky thorn attacker like that, or you could go for flower theme and have the masquerade. You could have male based, I suppose, with the lance. Not sorry, being sexist there. A more masquerade being a more sort of mysterious and dangerous one, or it could be more of a seductive one. So hence the top two designs, and maybe the bottom left one to some extent, but that still has a lot of rose spikes around it. But yeah, so the top two ones probably more towards that seductive side with a full sort of flower in effect. The top one here, you can see the hair goes into like a ponytail, the hair, I suppose, the flower goes into a ponytail. And apart from that, there's not too much change on that design, to be honest, but I think that's enough. It's clearly a different Pokemon, or an advanced version of the Pokemon. Maybe one or two colouring changes, maybe make the flowers sprout out a bit more, but apart from that, it's enough. The top right one, similarly, it looks a lot like normal Roserade. There's a separate colouring in the hair, in the top of the thing, and obviously some rose spikes, rose thorns on its legs, and then its cape is a bit more left out. Of course, the flowers getting a bit extra design on them. So then I think that supports it pretty well. And even the bottom left one here, we can see, the colouring is exactly the same as normal Roserade. Its mask is a bit wider, there's a bit of a frill around its neck, the cape's a bit longer once more, and there's spikes on its arms. And the difference here with this one is that it loses the flowers almost completely in exchange for like claws. Now I don't think I'd like that as much. I'd like to keep the flowers. That's the main sort of thing about Roserade's design. It comes from Roselia and all the way through, so I think it has to keep the flowers ready, but definitely spikes on its arms. Its arms could grow chunkier, and it could keep flowers, except it could have like a hand hidden something underneath, maybe something like that. Talking about the fencing one, or the base one there, that also would be pretty cool to have Roserade have spikes come out of its bouquets and have a more terrifying sort of mega evolution than you'd expect, getting a bit of armour, so maybe a bit of blue and red colouring across his body, and the cape again making it more extravagant. I think the design takes it a bit too far with that dark blue colouring, but you could definitely make it work with a masked fencer, and it would definitely work out in that sense. But that is it for Roserade, guys. In terms of typing, I didn't even get to typing, just talked about designs. Typing for Roserade, probably just Grass Poison still. I don't really see much of a change there. Maybe if you went with the full Lance, Grass Steel, but even then I think Grass Poison is probably the way to keep it. And Special Attacker or Physical Attacker. Special if it goes for a Flower. If it goes more for Spiky Thorns, it would probably revert to a physical and flip over completely, and that would be pretty interesting to see. But that is going to be it for Roserade, and that's the last Pokemon for today, guys. So don't forget, as always, let me know down below what you think of the Mega Evolutions we covered today. Could you suggest any extra typings or any extra abilities or themes for any of these Pokemon? Would you like to see a Mega Bibarel with steel all over its body, for example, or would you like to see a Mega Roserade with the lances that we mentioned? Let me know down below in the comment section, and of course, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. But for now, that's going to be it for me for today, so I shall be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.